Nope.
Don't worry, everybody's right here.
Let's turn on. There you go. Nailed it.
Listen.
There it is. No, it's this one. Okay. Can we use that one, Jonah, real quick? Thank you.
It's one of those days already. Getting all tangled up. I want to say, good morning to everybody. It's always difficult to get up early in the morning, but I was up about 4 hours ago, just listening to everybody whisper around in the house. They thought they were quiet. But I was dreaming this morning about the morning ceremony, and there was protection songs coming to me, and kind of remembering things about our day, how we should move even before we start ceremony. You know, in our ceremonial ways, we always start with acknowledgement of people's minds coming together and protection from each other, and even the person making the prayer, because we come into circles sometimes carrying a lot of junk, you know, in our minds and hearts. And but I also thought about the Sundance at home. We even before the dancers get out onto the altar, there's a song to recognize going before the sun, to stand before the sun on the altar, and to pray and be recognized for what you bring, you know, to prophesy your future, not just for yourself, but for everybody you know in your lifetime. If you know they still exist here on this earth plane, or if they moved on into the spirit plane. You still, even when you cross over into the spirit realms, you know, some of them still need help. And I made prayers for 14 of them a couple of nights ago. They're in Psalm 1 of these, you know. And that's where your body and your soul, they separate. But the body goes to the earth, but the soul still wanders. So, and it's not a bad thing, but it's just that they need extra help. And it's those of us that are still on this plane here that we make prayers to help them. And when they don't get help, sometimes they bother around. You know, they want your attention to tell you, you know, they need help. So it's not a bad thing. And I had to argue with one, you know, because he kind of didn't want to go, you know. So they're telling me about things happening in Standing Rock, and at home, and also here. And I knew there was two of them here because one of them came next to my bed and argued with me. You know. Said, "Who do you think you are?" No.
What was her name?
I didn't get her name. She did come up to me last night over here, and she said, "Look at me." She said, "Can you see this? There's something by me bothering." I said, "I didn't see you in my dream, but I didn't know who it was." And she said, "I want to talk to you about this." But we never talked again. She said, "So today she'll come by and bring me some tobacco, and we'll see what's going on with her." But you know, they need extra help. You know, at home it's like that. We have relatives that we grew up with. My brother and I, we grew up down by the river with no electricity and running water. You know, we had a big garden. We grew our own vegetables, and Mom and Dad, they very seldom bought meat uptown. We always bought bullets for us boys. There's a lot of us boys, the sons, so we'd always hunt or fish. We'd always spend time at the river, which wasn't very far from our house either. So we grew up connected to the earth and to through nature. We didn't know how good that was. But it wasn't until they sent us to boarding school we realized how good we had it. You know, we grew up in a tough environment. It was kind of went against what we believed, but you know, it was education, and some of those things we went through where you know we got through it. You know, many things to talk about today, and I think one of them, you know, is to remember, you know, about our reverence for life, for even yourself. You know, I think because like my brother and many of you here who work in circles, prayer circles, you know, you carry burdens for people, and you're always thinking about it, but don't think so much, but feel your way through it. You know. And I think my brother and I, and many of you here too, we always use that word ad lib. You know? And I didn't know I was doing morning ceremony, so I'm ad libbing. You just told me about a half hour ago, you know, that, you got morning ceremony. Really? You look at the schedule? No? I was out there. I did look at it, but I didn't have my glasses on, so so I didn't know what was going on anyway. And then our schedule, I was just kind of interested in the star knowledge, and for the first day, so I just kind of glanced over, and so I kind of didn't think much about it until this morning. As we were actually up early, we were going to go to another morning ceremony over here, but we. At the medicine wheel. I found out last night there's a medicine wheel made right on the other side of the pool, the building over there. Oh, you were there. Okay, well, good. And I woke up, I sat up, and the song popped into my head, Kola wa uwelo. My friend, I'm coming, you know, to stand before the grandfather's son, father's son, you know, for your day. Kola miecha wa uwelo. My friend, it's me, I'm coming. Means we're preparing ourselves for our day. Actually, your whole year, because what you learn here, you're going to carry till whenever you start kind of experiencing another gathering or another ceremony where you need to learn more to move on again. So you're going to pray your way into your future. What you want to happen, it will manifest. You know, this law of attraction we talk about, you know, that's a real deal. So what you should know is how holy you are, how sacred you are, you know. So this reverence, you know, you should carry it. If you can't carry it, you won't have it to give away, you know, to give to the trees and to the stones or to another human being or even your pets, you know. It's important, especially the children. There's always something that will remind you what you need to remember. You know, there's, you know, they call them rude awakenings sometimes. You know, you learn the easy way. Our parents are very down to earth, very simple. You know, you learn the easy way or the hard way. You know, and we make our choices, and when you learn the hard way, you always say, I knew I should have everybody. I wish you a very beautiful day. And keep your hearts open today. Walk in love, light, peace, unity, harmony, truth, and freedom.
Did you see me sitting over? Brian, you know what?
It's bad. Yeah, it still hurts, but I'm walking it out.
Yes.
It's amazing how they walk off. Somebody gave me some arnica tablets before I went bad. It had some arnica gel, eye skin, and what way you
Okay, so what I'm, if you give me your card.
Okay, good morning, Star Tribe. We're going to get started with our first speaker for today, Anouk Sophia. And at 10 o'clock today, we have our first workshop starting. If you didn't know, the workshops are right across from the restaurant. We'll get started right now with our first Star Sister speaker, goddess for today. Anouk Sophia.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. It's always an honor to be at Starlight Conference and see all the beautiful eyes.
Hi, beautiful lady.
So I've been walking sacred earth,
sacred sites on this magnificent planet, our mama. I've been walking with the Divine Feminine, and her voice is very strong. We all hear her, we all hear the earth speak, if we have time to listen. And one of the big messages she gives us today in this moment is look into each other's eyes. Take a moment to look into each other's eyes and say yes. You have arrived on this planet for a beautiful purpose, and we can't do this alone. We have tried, it went wrong. We need each other. And so she reminds us to look into each other's eyes and say yes. And that's really all we need to do. And so our journey takes us to Scotland. I have had the privilege to walk sacred lands in Scotland this past month with a group of extraordinary souls who have said yes to the goddess and who have chosen to look into each other's eyes. And by doing that, we created amazing, inspiring, and life-changing ceremonies, at least for us. They have been life-changing ceremonies, of which I would like to offer here. Is the feminine, it's actually the masculine essence. It's the fire ceremony, and the fire element is masculine, coming from the earth, so it's feminine and masculine. And how we were led to do the ceremony in Scotland on the Isle of Iona, which is a very sacred isle to the Druids, a very ancient land. It is supposed to be, or it is proven to be one of the oldest points of Earth on the planet. So the actual geology of this isle is very, very ancient, and it's one of the most ancient geology that they have discovered and tested. And also it is a sacred isle because it was always an isle where they created ceremonies. So since the pre-Druid times and during the Druid times, and all of the high kings of Scotland are buried there. So it's a very powerful ley line. So we are connecting all the time in all the ceremonies we travel. We go to the ley lines of planetary force. So it's the alchemy of our body with Mother Earth, and we don't need to be privileged to access those ley lines because they're all over us. They're probably in your back garden if you choose to ask the Mother where they are and allow your body to feel the energies of the earth. So the energies are where we can really make a difference because we can bring our prayers into those spaces and it will just travel. The whole of the earth is like the Wi-Fi of the earth, is the original connector where we all connect with each other as well as the ancient ones, and very importantly, the messages that are stored in the earth, because she is part of us and we are part of her. This body is the baby of this planet, so we are Mama Gaia's babies. And so we are in resonance, our DNA is in resonance with this planet, and we haven't come here for no reason. We came to be in this body, to be on this planet, because we chose to be love. We chose to be here and make a difference. And so the ley lines assist, as we assist them, they assist us in the remembrance. And we are nothing without a memory. We're nothing without our remembrance of who we are and why we came here. And a lot of amazing speakers, I'm sure, have told you all about the infiltration and the confusion that happened when the different races came and messed a little bit with our DNA and with our memories. And they cannot delete us, they cannot destroy us. And so we're here and we remember who we are, and we remember why we come, and we remember to look into each other's eyes. So the ceremony of the fires of the goddess is a ceremony which is very ancient and is still held today in Ireland for Samhain, which just happened. We know it here as Halloween. And there is a place in Ireland just outside Dublin where they have tested, carbon dated the ashes on that place, and they are more than 5,000 years old. So they've been creating fire ceremonies on that spot for a very long time. And how they do this still today is that they will light the fire in this spot, and then the next sacred site will be lit up, and then the next sacred site will be lit up, and then the next sacred site will be lit up. And they're all ley lines and power points of the earth. So it's like the original grid of the earth, which was the organic remembrance or the organic truth of the planet. And so remembering to tap into the Mother every day, every moment. It's like I keep hearing ears to the ground, like listen to the earth. There's much information. So the fires were lit all across Ireland, and they, in a sense, they still are. And the reason why I'm telling you about this is because I had not only, I was asked to create the ceremony with these beautiful people that will come and assist me. They came with me to Scotland. But also because I had two consecutive dreams, 2 nights in a row, where I was seeing the lands and I was seeing the fires being lit up. And it keeps coming up about us lighting up a fire. And so I'm just going to share a little bit about the fire being the masculine element, but it comes, obviously everything comes from the planet. Everything is part of the periodic table, right? So the element of fire comes through the goddess, through the earth, and it's masculine. So I would like to ask some men in a minute to come forward and hold the light. And this light then illuminates, because as the divine masculine within us all, but because I'm asking the men to come forward, the divine masculine would then illuminate the feminine, because we can't do this without each other. So we give the fire from the masculine to the feminine and illuminate her so that she comes illuminated all the way to the crown and she can carry the fire. So this is the fires of the goddess ceremony. We also created a fire earth and water. So the fire was wind, and it was a very powerful ceremony. And then we created the ceremony of the High King, and this is the part that I really want to share with you. It has been a very powerful remembrance. The story, if you like, of the High King. In ancient times, the High King was the one who was in service to the goddess. It wasn't the one who was all powerful and had all the army to go and fight and, you know, be at war. It was the one who was in total service to the goddess, and in so doing, he actually ceremonially married the lands, and he vowed to always protect and to always uphold life. So he wasn't there to claim his power or claim possession. It was about being this loyal, giving and upholding and protector of all of life in symbiotic alignment with the earth. So the ceremonies that were held in the Isle of Mull, we were asked to go to these standing stones, and there was this particular standing stone place where we were asked to go, and it was called Ardna Cross. And Ardna Cross means the place on high of the High Cross. And a lot of all of the standing stones in Scotland have been laid down because the ancient ones created them because there was an alignment, a very important ley line, very important connection with the underground waters, which I really want to share with you. There are also not only the ley lines of the earth, a lot of us know about those, but there's also the very powerful geodetic spirals that are inside the earth that have never been rain, they've never been oceans, they've never been rivers. And those sacred waters are the most powerful energy of the earth. They are the ones who carry all the memory. We know this, right? We know that water carries memory. So they have never been outside the earth. They've been deep within the earth, just traveling and supporting all of our memories. And on specific points on the planet, when the ley lines and the telluric lines meet, there is such a strong current of power, electric magnetic power, that the waters are pushed up. And those are the sacred wells. And they have tested, I was visiting with Maria Whitley. She's probably known to you. She is a master dowser, but also a geologist, and she lives just outside Avebury Circle of Stones in England. And she did all the testings, and they've discovered that the sacred waters on these wells, when it comes from deep within the earth, which is the geodetic spirals that I'm telling you about, is not H2O, but it's actually H3O. So if you ever have the opportunity to visit sacred wells, take time to really ask and imbue. You don't have to drink it, but just imbue the memories are stored in water. So there is so much more to water than we, I know, it's normal to take things for granted and be thirsty and take a sip. And for the ones who are sun dancers, we know the power and the sacredness of water, because we don't really drink water for 4 days during the ceremony, so it becomes such a sacred time to have a little sip of water. It's just such a life giver, as well as all of the things that are going on that our brothers and sisters are upholding at Standing Rock, which I know all of you know about. So returning to the geodetic spirals, the ancient ones knew about this, and this is why we have a lot of spirals in petroglyphs and places around the world, places of great telluric alignment, but also the geodetic spirals are what the ancient ones knew. They knew how to them, and also perhaps they were dowsing, or they could sense it with light, color, sound. They had a lot of technology that we have forgotten. So I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the sacred masculine and what transpires through the ceremonies. And a lot of this information comes from the ancient ones called the Tuatha the Danan, they are the people of the goddess Danu. And I'm told that Danu is the waters. She is the living waters. She is all of the giving life goddess. And there's not a lot left on the planet about the goddess Danu, because it is so ancient, so it's mythology. And the Tuatha De Danann were these upholders of life. And so if you have time to research them, they have a lot to share. And they're also the shining ones. They're known as the shining ones. They're known as the winged ones, so the bird people, the bird tribe. They're known as the giants. They were the shapeshifters. And also they are the fae people. So the fairy realms, but not so much how I perceive them. They're not so much the little twinkly fairies. They're more the very powerful and warrior-like, although they're not here for war. They're here to uphold the memories. So in a sense, they are in the trees, they are in the forest, they are in the stones, they are in all of life, and even in the moss. I love moss. I don't know if you feel the same way about moss. So take time to connect with the fae people, the shining ones, or the Tuatha De Danann, or the people of the goddess. Whichever way you know them as, I know you all know them, because they've been here upholding the truth for us so that we could remember. And they bring, I spoke about this not long ago, so perhaps I'll just quickly pass through them, but they brought four pieces, four symbols for us, and they're all interconnected, but I'm just going to talk very quickly through them, because just to explain them as separate, but they're kind of like the chakras. We can look at them separately, but they are all one. So there was a stone that is also known as the Stone of Destiny, and this was the stone where they would crown the king, and they still use this, and now we don't know. We might have lost the actual original stone, but for a while there was a stone that they created inside the throne, where up to not long ago, like in the 1950s, a queen was crowned over the stone. So the power of the stone was that the stone had the memory of the earth, and she was the goddess, and the king would sit on the stone and it would sing. It would recognize the DNA, the bloodline, the original blueprint, the purity of the king. And so he would be crowned the high king. And then this is what I talked to you about earlier, that he would be in service to the goddess. It wasn't about being powerful or being the owner of all the lands, but it was about he would be in total service to life, and all that he did, and all of the people that came before him. That would be his work, would be his job, is to protect all of the people that lived on that land. And in exchange, the goddess would then give him all that was abundant in the lands, and all that was needful, and all that was useful, also in terms of knowing if the enemy was close, and how to create protection around being safe. So, and this still obviously is available to us today on the earth, if we put our ears to the ground, as it were. So the second symbol is the spear, and they all have names which are Celtic, so I'm not going to try and pronounce them. The spear was also a light. In fact, it was more like a torch than a light, and it represented the bloodline. It represented the masculine, the penetration. So it was also about the Kundalini energy, the sexual energy that drives us all. But it was the organic, original remembrance of the sexual energy, which so much throughout the ages we have forgotten. And it's so important to return, because without that we cannot create the new. We cannot create the new children. So this was the spear of Lugh, and some of us in the Celtic tradition still celebrate Lugnasad, which is also the fertility rites, for the harvest time. So it was about giving the giver of life, the abundance of life. And it is said that the spear would illuminate, so the king who had the spear would never be defeated because he could see through. So it was about seeing the way ahead and the clarity to choose to make the choices from the heart. And the next one is the sword. The sword representing not going to war and using it for harm, but it was the sovereignty of the king, of his power within. So it was about the spinal cord, is about standing upright and knowing that he was a king and he was in service to life. And it was an honor to be in this protective space of the High King. And it also represented the sovereignty of being, of standing up to the truth. So it was about the purity of the heart. It was about knowing, if we know the stories of Arthur and Excalibur and the stories of the sword and the stone, this is to do with the purity of heart, because only the pure of heart could take the thank you. The sword. Thank you. Yes, I had a vision of Lady of the Lake. This is why I phased out. So Lady of the Lake wants to speak, and she teaches about the inner lake. So thank you for picking up on me. Lady of the Lake speaks to us about the sacred waters within, and that when we are in this moment of chaos, look within and feel the lake. What's the lake doing? If you know the story of the Lady of the Lake, she's the one who gives the, in one of the stories, she gives the sword back to the rightful king. So before we go into that, knowing that we are sovereign, we need to look into the stillness, into the 0 point. So yes, thank you, Lady of the Lake. I need to speak about the 0 point. The 0 point is also the magnetic electric point within our bodies. It is a physical place as well as an emotional, spiritual space within ourselves, and is also in the earth. And it's a lot of people know about the Tesla technologies as being also 0 point for energy. So just imagine the picture that all the choices we had was a 2D, and we went into the center point of that 2D circumference. The center point would be the 0 point, right? And then from that 0 point, we would have at least 360 equal, powerful choices to make of equal value. But we live in a multidimensional universe. And so imagine the choices that are all powerful and needful and perfect in the moment if we go into the 0 point. And this has been one of the manipulations, is that we have come out of the 0 point space. From the 0 point, there is no negative memory. All of the negative timelines disappear because those were not reality. So the illusion happened because we came out of 0 point. So find that stillness within yourself and come and search me. I don't have a workshop, but I'm very happy to share a whole lot more with you about the 0 point and about returning to the space of the original memory within. There is no wounding. There is no negative memories of this lifetime or any lifetimes or ancestral lines. Everything returns to the original intention of why we came here. So the 0 point is one of the places that we connect on Iona, the sacred isle. So, okay, and then the last one, we're still going back to the Tuatha and symbols, is the cauldron. So all of those symbols return into the 0 point of the cauldron, which is the giver of all healing, of all life. So imagine the womb, imagine the sacred grail, imagine all of the bloodlines of the Mary Magdalene, all of the stories of keeping the sacred of the feminine, of that bloodline of Christ, all of that returning back into that source of the original matter. So M-A-T-E-R, the mother matrix, the original organic mother matrix returns into the cauldron. mythology of the Tuatha De Danann. So come look me up if you want to know more about them. I have a lot more to share, but I know that we are running late on our timeline. So I would like to just call up my beautiful co-creators in our ceremony. Would you just come up and just say a word about your experience, a very quick word? And then I would invite anybody that feels drawn to come outside and create the ceremony of the fires. Thank you, Elwyn. So, Elwyn has been walking planet Earth for many purposes, but one special purpose is to help and assist the couples to bring the divine child, so to bring the illuminated conception, the way of light. So I'll pass the word to you.
Thank you, love. Yes, the children. I'm just going to take a moment and just share that the children are so very sacred and special, as we know, and the new children, there's an actual new wave of children that are preparing to land on the planet at this time, and they're called the Sun-Eyed Children of the Marvelous Dawn. And part of the path that many of us, I think, whether it's conscious or not, we're helping to clear the way for them through clearing the planetary grids of the distortions that have been laid on the grids through different beliefs, storylines, things that have occurred that are through trauma. And so those grids are being cleared, and we've had a really big leap in clearing those grids because of our collective joining together and doing our part, each one of us. And so the children, just as of May 1st, actually, with the star streamings that came in right after September 1st this year, was called the third wave. And those energetics have come through and are supporting now the ascension codes that are connected to what's called the Immaculate Conception codes, to allow for these new children to land. And so there's been many children that are, actually 44 children in Ireland during the time that we were there just a month ago. They are now have brought forth some of those key codes and frequencies and templates as they've landed. There were 44 at Cork, Ireland, right in between the equinox and the solstice, or pardon me, the equinox and the eclipse. And so anyway, without going into more, I just want to say that the experience that we had together was exquisite beyond words. And it was totally, it was the most time, I would say the most life-changing for me of any experience I've had this lifetime so far. And knowing that it's for the whole, it's for the children, and it's for our humanity's birthing into the new earth. So thank you. Much love.
Thank you, Elwyn. And I would just like to ask our wonderful High King, who was present at the ceremony in the Isle of Mal, David, to just share with us the experience of this original Divine Masculine blueprint, if you would.
I was taken aback by how powerful this experience was. What happened to me during the time we were there, which was about a week, is that we were exploring the masculine and feminine within us, and how we can embody those. And so one of the specific experiences we had is we went to a church called Kilkennian, and we didn't expect anything when we arrived there. In fact, we actually were trying to get to another church, And a man mentioned that there were these stones. They were like effigy stones or burial stones in the basement. And we went down into the basement, and there were these stones, and they were about almost 6 feet tall, and they were very old. And there was one that was carved a king or a knight. Next to him was the woman who was like the queen, and she looked like a star being. She was a star being. When we left the church Kilkennian to go to Church Kilmore, and this is on the Isle of Mull, I had the image of the Night King back such a remembrance to me. I just started breaking down and crying, and I didn't know why. It wasn't until we went to Rosslyn Chapel that we went down into the basement of Rosslyn Chapel. I was standing before the one called Emmanuel in this transfiguration picture, and the memory just came all back to me. I was a Templar Knight. My role was to honor feminine, but during that time as a Templar Knight, what I saw was that I was sacrificing my whole life for this cause, and that this is a pattern that has been repeated for me, not only for past lives, but also my ancestral lineage. It's all about sacrificing yourself for something else. And what I realized was that I needed to be present in the world as a high king. I can't sacrifice myself. I can't merge with others or leave myself to sacrifice myself for something else. I need to stay present to myself and to who I am. And the healing I received from this information, I can't even describe. We ended at Rosslyn Chapel. There's a tree, a grandmother or grandfather tree, and we did a ceremony where we actually buried the sword. And this is the sword that represents the old paradigm and the old patterns of sacrificing yourself, being in war with others. We buried that sword so that the children that are coming do not have to experience all the pain and suffering that all past generations have experienced. It wasn't part of the original paradigm. So I can't thank Anouk enough for there personally, but for bringing us all together, because we just, every time something came up about what we were doing, someone had a suggestion or an answer that filled in that part of the puzzle that we needed. It was just so beautiful. I've never experienced that with a group of people before. So thank you.
Thank you, David. So just to finish up, just to let you know that these journeys are obviously very sacred journeys and life-changing journeys, and there's a lot of laughter and a lot of tears and a lot of transformation from just being in service. This is really what all we had come to do, is to just be present and be in service to each other, to our own transfiguration and to the planet. And in so doing, we have a sense that a lot can be done just by coming together. And I know these journeys are, something that you have to prepare, and you have to get on a plane, and there is a reason why we go to those places, because of the ley lines. But please do ceremony wherever you are. Please look into each other's eyes and trust that connection, that remembrance within you. There is everything. You are ready right now to do what you came here to do. There is no need for you to follow a different whatever mythology, whatever that is, just connect that 0 point space where all is known, connect to Mother Earth in whichever way you choose, if it's just a tree or definitely sun gazing in the morning, connect to the waters, whichever way you do it. Please, I ask you, I remind you, we can't do this alone. We need each other. We need to remember who we are and bring the masculine, feminine together, go through the 0 point, and that's when we create the new, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your choice is of the new. The new children are ready to come through and assist. They are the ones we are leaving this legacy for, so what are we leaving for them? What's our gift to them? What will they talk about when they remember their ancestors? Thank you very much. Blessed be.
Thank you, Star Sister. And with that, we're going to start with our next guest speaker for today. From the Star Knowledge, Mr. Star Brother, Astro Traveler, Healer, Garrett Duncan. Star Brother. And we have a few workshops we'll announce real quick. And also, if you want to sign up for the workshops, you can see Jen. She's sitting right over here. And 10 o'clock is Jen Berryhill, 11, Mary Lightweaver. 12 o'clock, Bobby Joe. 1 o'clock, Uquala. And 2 o'clock, Silver Star. 3 o'clock, Golden Light Eagle. 4 o'clock, Laura Eisenhower. And then the closing ceremonies today will be at 6 o'clock. And with that, tickle, tickle, tickle.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. There we go. Everybody's waking up. There we go. That's right. That's right. I don't have my feathers today, but I'm going to still try to tickle your auras anyway. Tickle, 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 tickle. Tickle, 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 tickle. So I have one of my angelic wolf assistants who's walking around. He is bringing to you a bag of crystals. So I like for each and every one of you to pick a crystal for yourself. My gift to you, and I will share with you in a moment what we will do with these. But for those of you who weren't here yesterday or who weren't here on Friday, my name is Garrett Duncan. I come from the Navajo Nation. I come from the Bitterwater clan, born for the Red Running into the Water clan. My maternal grandfather's clan is the Mexican clan, and my paternal grandfather's is the Minihogans. I come from a small community called Sanasti, New Mexico. Aloha, aloha, aloha. Mama Laura over there, she's engaging. I love it, I love it. Yep, so that's where I come from. And I was having breakfast this morning. I was having breakfast the one day that I allowed myself to have breakfast, because I'm here helping, assisting all you wonderful souls, helping to remind you, helping you to remember who you are, why we're here, and to blossom. And so therefore, the crystal that is being gifted to you, the crystal is for you to carry. And I ask one thing of this. We're going to do a small little ceremony with this toward the end of the talk. We are going to bring the most blissful, lightning experience, happy, joy, and you're going to infuse that crystal with that energy. And with all of us being present here together in unity, collaboration, you're going to bring forth that energy, and you're going to infuse your crystal with it. And here's what I'll ask of you. Wherever you hail from, wherever you come from, wherever you have your foundation, wherever you have your home, I ask that you give that crystal to a running source of water. This is how you will help, because you are assisting the crystalline vibration of who you are, of who we are, right? So we've been hearing a lot of talks about assisting Earth, right? And one of the things that stood out in my mind just yesterday was someone had mentioned how we are so connected to Mama Earth. Mama Earth, Mama Earth. Someone commented to me, and I got to thank my sister for this. I'm going to recognize her because she is the one that said we should be calling her Mama Earth, right? I mean, you guys think of your mamas, you know, you think of your mamas, you think of those individuals, your mamas in soul, your mamas in spirit. So Mama Earth, so, you know, we should treat her the same way. We should give her that same sense of resonance and that same sense of energy, right? So Mama Earth, we are the earth, right? We know that. In Navajo tradition, I talk about us being the earth surface walkers. Also talk about all of us having 5 fingers, right? But it goes deeper than that. It goes deeper than that in our philosophy. In our philosophy, they talk about our hands. They talk about how they say that the veins in our hands are the rivers and streams that flow from the waters that flow and make up the rivers and streams of Mama Earth. And that's why they're blue. That's why the veins are blue, is because it's that water. It's that crystalline water. And elemental wise, from the essence and energy of fire, Kunt means fire. Fire, light. Adinadine is the sunlight, that sun ray that comes from our local sun here. And so this energy, this fire, is your heart, is our heart, is who we are, allowing the foundation, the heart resonance, the heart connection, who we are, connecting to our Mama Earth. And here I'm going to go deeper. You know how I mentioned yesterday that each of us is cosmic starlight, right? We're also cosmic stardust. But now, in regards to our Mama Earth, planet Earth, the energy, the iron crystal, the iron core that makes up our Mama Earth, that radiates within the center, is the same iron mineral that flows within your blood. That is why your blood runs hot. We are warm-blooded as human individuals, as human beings. So this mineral, this component of what we need to build, to make our blood flow freely and vibrantly, is connected to Mama Earth. So that connection and that resonance, that mineral, that crystalline vibration of the iron energy of this mineral connecting to the iron core of our planets is who we are. Is one of the reasons why we're here. We are here to assist through ourselves. That saying, when Mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? Isn't that true? But now it's no longer Mama, it's us. So if we ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? Yeah. So therefore, you're bringing that vibrancy, you're bringing that illumination, you're bringing that joy, that bliss, that peace. You're bringing it to yourself. When am I at peace? This is something that I've learned in the last few years, being part of this role as a teacher facilitator, is the Hawaiians recognize the energy of the feminine, but recognizing also the kahunas, the kahuna magic and the energy of Lemuria. But where I was going with this was the energy of the heart, like really resonating in the heart space, really resonating and honoring that aspect of who we are. So if you have that crystal that is running within your fields, within your crystalline matrix on a physical level, if you're bringing that bliss, you're bringing that excitement to yourself, and that is radiating out, then you're touching everybody here. You're touching, when you go back to your everyday life, your 3D muggle worlds, I like to say, right? This is what's going to happen. You're going to be like, oh man, I want to go back. I miss my family. I miss my people. And I'm looking at this mundane 3D stuff, and it really sucks right now, right? Who can speak from experiences from previous Yep, see, you know what I'm talking about. But you can maintain that vibration because guess what? We're here and now at this moment. Each and every one of you are in your bliss. It's each and every one of you are in your element to shine, to raise the vibration, to be yourself, to be ourselves. And that crystalline aspect, what you're holding right now is carrying that piece, that crystal that you're holding right now is helping you to remember, to maintain that energy, to maintain that vibrancy, to maintain what it is, whatever it is, to get you back into the state of bliss and joy and happiness. So here's where I'm going to help you with that. What is one of your favorite foods? Chocolate? I know the Sasquatch like pizza. The Sasquatch like pizza, they laughing. I hear them right now. Yeah. They're like, shout out to you, brother. I know. I got to recognize my Sasquatch nation. What's another favorite food for somebody else? Come on. Cream? Ice cream. Oh my God, ice cream. Who does not like ice cream? Who does not like ice cream? Come on. There you go. That's right. See? Look at this little Heyoka here. See? There you go. Ice cream. And look what happened. Now he's in bliss. See? So one of the reasons why we're here, you know, I give you that little small reminder as to why we're here, why you guys chose to come back, not only to help Mama Earth, not only to help our brothers and sisters remember, but you're also here to recognize and honor the beauty of our planet. The beauty of the planet. Show of hands, who's guilty of this? Man, this place sucks. I want to go back home. Why the hell did I come back? Yay! See, I'm not alone, right? Right? It's like, this place really sucked. Dang, it's so harsh. Everybody's killing the earth and everything. You get all riled up and wrapped up in that energy, right? But let me share with you how you can transform that. As simple as just thinking of your favorite food. I had a moment. I was in that moment. I'm guilty of it myself. So I'm speaking from personal experience. When I say, I hate the world. Why the heck did I say I'd come back here? Oh my gosh, this place sucks. This is the last time. This is the last time. I'm not coming back. Forget it, right? You guys, I'm sure you're guilty of this too, right? So I'll say, okay, I'm not coming back. And here's what my higher self and spirit says to me. Yeah, right, Garrett. You're going to be up there. You're looking at Earth, and you're going to see that cherry pie, and you're like, okay, I'll do it one more time. One more time. This is the last time, I promise. I'm like, screw you too, screw you too. So I was having an argument with my higher self. Yeah, that's how I roll, I should say. That's what happens. I have those moments, you know. But part of who we are and part of why we came back is for each of you, you know, whatever blissful moment, whatever it is that you enjoy about Mama Earth. If it's cherry pie, it's cherry pie. So you have that moment, that experience of truly enjoying the cherry pie. If you're looking at it, you're seeing that color, you're seeing that red, and your mouth starts to water, and you're paying attention to how your mouth's reacting. Maybe it's freshly baked and the smell, and then you're looking at it and your mouth starts watering, and then you cannot just wait to take that first bite. You're cutting it. Like if you slow down and you really have that experience, and then you put it in your mouth and you eat it. That is why you guys came back. You have your moment eating cherry pie, right? I'm going to write a book about that, by the way. Getting off on cherry pie. That's what it's going to be called. I'll tell you that much right now. It could be getting off on chocolate. from you getting off on Coke. But when it becomes an addiction, that's when it transforms itself. So that's where I caution you. When it starts to become an addiction, that's when we realize, hey, maybe I'm having a little too much, but that's where you guys need to recognize the essence of balance, being in balance with who we are. So Navajo Nation, Navajo philosophy is all about balance, being in the state of Hojon. Hojon Nashada means, may I walk in beauty. But it's the beauty of who we are, the beauty of having this beautiful experience right now, here on earth, with each and every one of us, being brothers and sisters, all of us, having this experience right now. That is one of the reasons why you guys came back. Because if you think about it this way, if you're up in the air and you're up there connected to the universe, you're there with the angels, you're there with the masters, you're there with everybody else, you're looking down at here, and those beings look back at us too, and they say, you know what? I want to be in their place too. I want to have that experience. I want to be human. I want to feel what it feels like. So if you honor the human experience, the human essence of who you are, then you're always at the right place at the right time. Because why is it that we only honor these things when they're taken away from us? We get these things taken away. Some people learn the hard way that way. So, man, the color, like Mr. Yukwala here, the color that he's wearing, as we look and see all that vibrancy, I'm seeing it. And then the colors of each and every one of your clothing, the colors of the background, all of that. And now, guess what? It gets taken away. And then you start to go into, man, I should really paid attention. I should really have went to the museum. I should have been to the art museum. I should have really painted. Sometimes some of us learn the hard way. But if you be in the beauty and recognize the beauty of having a human experience, then you're always could be blissful no matter where you go, right? And those tools, whatever it takes to get you to that level, if it's laughing, is it giggling, if it's holding your crystals and getting high, yeah, I know you guys are guilty of that too. I know you guys are. I know. Whatever it takes to get to that level. If it's dancing, who loves to dance? Raise their hands. Come on. There we go. You guys are going to experience that later today. Yeah. The new form. What was that? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's right. I like it. Yeah. There you go. See? Those are very simple exercises to get you back into that state. But even the action of what you're doing right now, you guys are laughing. I'm being too serious. See? That giggling. So the essence and action of laughing. All right, so I'm sure those of you who've stopped by my table, you'll hear me giggling. But when you get natives together, this is what happens. You used to just hear all this racket, right, you koala? Yeah. So you have to keep us separate, otherwise you're gonna hear us, we're gonna get chased out. That's what happens. So that energy of laughing, the energy of keeping it light, keep it simple that way. The energy of enjoying the cherry pie, enjoying your ice cream, enjoying the chocolate. Those are blissful moments, and those are one of the main reasons. That should be your number one reason as to why you're here. That, being in bliss, being in the light of who we are, the light of honoring the human experience, that essence, that vibration. So it could be as simple, very simple, through the simple action of rubbing your feet on the ground. You guys really paid attention to how that feels? Really feeling that and seeing the colors. Listening to the sound of me laugh and giggle and talk, that hearing, right? So paying attention to your five senses, your eat, your taste, your smell, your touch, your sound. So those experiences, honoring those aspects of you as a human being, as a human individual, that's how you get back to your bliss. So even if you don't like your job, even if you're just there, you're 8 to 5, like, blah, this place sucks. I hate doing this. I don't know why I'm here, why I'm still stuck. So shift your energy, shift it. I mean, look at your computer, look at your mouse. Like, have you ever heard your mouse sing? Say, oh, Now it's working better. Right? So you could have your little experiences just in that moment. And then once you allow yourself to be in that space, then from that venue, it starts to grow and grow and grow. And then you'll start to think of me. I'm like, hey, you guys are being too serious. You're being too serious. Tickle, 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 tickle. So just keep that in mind too. Keep that in mind. I'll tickle you when you guys start to think that way. And you get back to the bliss. So you'll carry that energy of who we are, that energy of being here, the energy of remembering this moment, remembering this weekend, remembering all the ceremonies in which you participated, the awesome conversations in which we've had with each other, listening to each other's stories. See, that's what I meant yesterday by saying the time of the lone wolf is over. So finding wolf pack, all of us right now, being part of that wolf pack together, so we can howl. So let's do a howl. There you go. I like that one. See? Even the four-leggeds represent. Embrace your inner wolf. See? See? Awesome. See? Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it. See? See? She's having fun. Look at her. I love it. Love it. Love it. See? That's what I mean. Now, in honor of Jen and all you flyers, but all of you who rate to the Owl Nation, let's do our inner owl. Woo! 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 I'm going to share with you a joke. One of my guys, oh yeah, he's like, I don't know about that one. I'll share with you a joke that Sitting Bull told to me. I'm going to share this joke with you because he came to me one time as a guide. Because you know, Sitting Bull was Heyoka. He told me this. Never mind, this whole nother story. But anyway, so here's the joke. Knock, knock. You ruined my joke, dude. One more time. Knock, knock. Owl. All you guys. See? Embracing your inner owl. Look at it. See? Notice how the energy shifted? We did our howl. Now we're doing our hoo-has. We're doing our hooing. And now you're back into your nice blissful state, right? Everything's great. Everything's divine. You're holding your crystals right now. You're holding your crystals, right? So that's amplifying, that's capturing all. It's being programmed, just the fact that you're holding on to it, that it's with you. So you're taking this vibrancy, you're recognizing the aspect of who you are, having this human experience, you're recognizing the inner water, you're recognizing the inner crystal, the aspect of you, the inner human, the inner earth. That piece of you is now being infused into your crystal. That laughter, that joy-heartedness, that lightness, that blissful experience of having a human experience right now, that smiling. Yeah. If you want a Navajo facelift, I love this. Facelift. Sister Tracy here, she goes, oh my God, I love my Navajo facelift. That's how I keep the wrinkles nice and smooth here. Yeah, she knows. So come see me. Come see me. I'll give you Navajo facelift. It involves smiling. So if you're worried about smiling decreases in the side of yours, it won't happen. Trust me. It won't happen because I always do it to myself. Whoa, this is my treatment for myself. But anyway, so the aspect of who we are as humans and having this blissful experience, this is what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to share with you, it could be as simple as eating cherry pie. It could be as simple as having that chocolate cake. Who likes cake? See, there we go. I love it. Yeah, especially the chocolate. That's right. That's right. Yep. But when you look and see each other, I see you. I see each and every one of you. I see these beautiful beings sitting here in front of me and going into that state and honoring it and recognizing it. That's also why we're here, right? I see you. Who's seen Avatar? Somebody was awake, huh? Yep. Somebody was awake. So I'm going to share with you the magic of our world. When you're in this bliss and when you're having your moments If you allow yourself to really believe and feel, if you allow yourself that, the magic is all around you. The magic is all around you. The miracles are all the way around you. And you always get your shines all the time. It's not just one significant thing. It's always one thing. So when you guys watched Avatar for the first time and you started to hear and feel, like even with the music, becoming one of the people as they adopted this outsider, a lot of the native tribes did this in their histories. They brought outsiders. They brought them because we cared for them. We took care of them. And I think it was about the piece, the missing piece, the missing aspect of what I see on a cultural level, that division that happens with the European colonization. A division happens, and that, the warring between the tribes and stuff in their history. But indigenous peoples have always adapted and acculturated and brought these outsiders. They welcomed them with open arms because we were operating in a different level. We were operated from the state of the heart. So we welcomed them into the tribe, and then even those tribal members didn't even want to leave. They didn't want to go back. Just like how you guys are feeling now, you think of today being the last day, like, damn, I have to go back to my 8 to 5. I don't want to go back, right? It's that same feeling. So that's what the indigenous peoples have brought, that essence of who we are, really seeing who we are as humans, who we are as one heart, and who we are as the tribe of many colors, right? Awesome, awesome. Aho, 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 aho. How much time do I have? I could talk here forever, that's why. Okay, awesome. I want to make sure I leave a little bit in there for the crystal energy infusion. So, I'm just kind of hearing what they're having me to talk about. Okay, so on a serious note, sort of, who's seen the ships yesterday? Did anybody see the ships? So the Galactic Federation, on a galactic level of things, I certainly work with the Star Brothers and Sisters. The galactic signature that I walked away with at the last Star Knowledge, which was in Estes Park back in August. I was telling you guys that I found out what my galactic signature is. I've always knew that I was part of this, the bird tribes. I've always worked with eagle medicine. Eagles, to me, are my people. And have you guys ever seen an eagle eye? I'm gonna show you what an eagle eye looks like. This is what happens. See how invasive that feels? That's eagle. So don't even try to hide anything from us, because we're like, it's like that Superman look. You're like this. Yep. You're like, okay. You're like, oh, stop. See, that's how eagles look. So don't try to hide anything. But anyway, so the avians, the blue avians are my people. The blue avians, them, because when I saw a picture of them, someone had drew what they look like. They had a beak, and then they have flaming blue hair like this way. And of course, you guys saw me for the last 2 days. I'm having these huge feathers coming on my head, right? And I had a moment this morning where, oh, Garrett's over there. And Tracy's like, he's over there. And everybody else like, where? He's over there. I was wearing my raven cloak. And he goes, no, he's right there. And then they couldn't see me, right? Light Weaver, she couldn't see me. She couldn't see me because they were looking for my feathers. They were looking for my antenna. They were trying to find me. And of course, I'm like hiding in the corner, like, don't see me. Don't see me. I just want to eat breakfast. But of course, as soon as she pointed me out, then the whole thing, the whole ruckus, and you hear the laughing. Yeah, I know. I try to keep a low profile, but it's hard. It's hard because especially when you're in this blissful state, when I'm here with all you beautiful people, when I'm here, I'm having fun, I'm laughing, I'm helping to tickle you, to get you back to that vibrancy, to get you back to where you should be, where we should be operating 24/7. When we're in that state, that's how we make the change. That's how we bring about change in our own personal surrounding. Spirit had shared with me when all of this had happened, I was working in a corporate job at the time. And this corporation deals with money and money transfers and money exchanges. And Spirit had shared with me that They needed, if you think about it, really think about the energy component of money right now. You think about how dirty it is, like how dirty in the form of money laundering, in the form of people that suffering that's revolved around that piece of dollar, and around, well, maybe there's exploitation, but how it governs it. Spirit has said to me that you're actually doing an important job, because energetically the money was flowing through this company's channels on a global scale. And they said to me, you're doing an important job because we need the strongest of the strong. We need the strongest of the strong light. We need the strongest of the strong vibrancy to be and infiltrate the space, so to help transform and transmute that energy of those channels. And so therefore, luckily, you know, I had 2 other soul sisters at that time. The 3 of us, you couldn't separate us. And we were growing together, but we would be in this space all the time. And of course, everybody would always comment, you guys are always having lunch. You're always together. You're always running. I'm like, what's that? I'm like, you see this crystal? This is awesome crystal. You should feel it. And they're looking at us like, you crazies. I'm like, I know. It's better to be crazy than to be here in a job, right? I'm like, yeah, that's true. And I see, there you go. So what we were doing was helping to transform. But each of you are doing that same thing. You know, if you're looking for change, like in the form of job, in order for 8 to 5 job, look at it in the aspect of where you want to be. Be in that space where you're going to be excited. You're going to get along with your coworkers. Your boss is going to love you for who you are. If you're trying to manifest a job, look at it that way. But also some of us have the, let's say we have a little bit more difficult role, because we're put in certain aspects, certain placements here on earth to bring light to those situations, to help diffuse and transform the energies. And this is something that I learned early on. The more light we are, the more we try to infiltrate, the more we shine bright, the heaviness tends to want to smother us out, right? If you're in your bliss, remember there's always that one person who's like the Debbie Downer. Next time that Debbie Downer starts to take your light away or trying to diminish your light, tickle her or tickle him. Say, do you know why trees like it, why it blows, why the wind blows for trees? Because they like to be tickled. That's what they taught me. They said they like to be tickled, because of course I was complaining about the wind, and the tree's like, hey, knock it off. I said, why? I hate that. I don't like it. It came from New Mexico. It's windy all the time. They're, hey, knock it off. I said, why? They said, don't you like to be tickled? I'm like, yeah, of course. And they're like, well, so do we. Shut up. I'm like, okay, I get it. I got the message right away. And so therefore, that blissful experience, you know, being in those spaces, even if you don't really like the job, but you're doing a favor. You're helping your brothers and sisters there. But you may not be realizing it, but I'm bringing that awareness to you now, is when you're putting those shadow places, when you're being put in those spots, in those areas, if you can be in your bliss through the simple act of thinking of cherry pie or chocolate or ice cream and going back into the state of vibrancy of right now, then you're emanating that light. You're emanating that higher vibrancy. And that's when you start to attract those people like, why am I so drawn to you? I need to, I'm like, hey, that's enough, get away. So this is right here, so you stand right there. But anyway, they start to come to you, you start to attract them. And then that's where it's an opportunity for you to talk to them and to share. How is it, why is it that Garrett over there, what's going on with him? You know, you start to spark their interest. What is it about him? What's he doing differently than everybody else here? I just simple. I'm just keep visualizing cherry pie and licking my lips. Right? Right? All right. So I do want to, on that note, I want to go ahead and bring forward. So each of you take your crystals out, put it into your dominant hand. All right. Go and put it into your dominant hand. Woo, 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 woo. Look at you all serious. Look at you guys. All right, we're going to do a wolf howl. Here we go. We're going to do an owl. Ooh, 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 ooh. We're gonna laugh. Tickle, 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 tickle. There you go. There you go. Tickle, 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 tickle. She's cut off. So now your crystals have been infused. They have been infused. You're going to take that. When you see the water flowing, my love, I recognize the river within me. I recognize the water within me. And therefore, I give this back to you. That's all it takes. So take that crystal to wherever you guys call your homestead. Find that flowing water. And guess what? You're assisting the world now. You're assisting because as the rivers flow, they connect to our oceans. As they get heated, they evaporate. And what happens? It rains and it goes all across the country. So now you're bringing about those blessings to the land. That's why you're here. So pat yourselves on the back, everybody. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. All right. Awesome. Come see me for your Navajo facelift. I'll be here for a few more hours. Unfortunately, I got to catch a flight later, but come see me. Have an awesome day. Have an awesome day.
Thank you, Garrett. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jen, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to let you all know we have some amazing workshops going on all day today. I'm actually starting my workshop at 10 o'clock, and we're going to have some fun with the owl and the law of attraction. So please join me if you like. Also, we have Mary Lightweaver doing her workshop today at 11 o'clock. She's going to be doing some channeling of the grandmothers and weaving some light and lots of love. And I'm sure the clowns are coming. And then Bobby Jo Cool will be doing a workshop at noon. And she's just a beautiful angel that brings us so much more connection to our mission. And so it's a good workshop as well. And then we have our relative Ukwala, and he's doing his workshop today at 1 o'clock. And this one you do not want to miss. It's always just amazing to spend time with Ukwala. And we're so happy you're here with us. Thank you. And then we have Grandmother Silver Star. She's giving her workshop today at 2 o'clock. And Chief Golden Light Eagle is at 3 o'clock. And I'm pretty sure he'll be doing a deeper dive into the 1313 teachings today. And then we have Laura Eisenhower today at 4 o'clock. And then we'll be wrapping up our conference with the snake dance tonight, starting around 5. So let's keep the energy really high and have some fun today and love on each other. And thanks so much, everybody. If you want to show up for any workshops, you can sign up right over here. And also, we need to acknowledge all of the beautiful souls that are joining us via live stream. I'm told we have, hello. Thank you for joining us. Australia, Canada, Utah, California, Texas, and Florida. We have folks from all over the globe joining us in this beautiful ceremony. So hello and thank you. All right, we have Jenny Marks joining us next. And she'll be up shortly. Thank you so much.
Test, test. Test.
You are now listening to White Knight.
Singers. Any singers?
There's one, Kelly. Kelly. Chief would
Any singers? We need some sinners too. Good t-shirt.
Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, oh, hey, oh, hey, 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 y'all, hey, y'all, oh, hey, oh, hey, y'all, hey, 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 y'all, hey, 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 way, way, oh, hey, At this time, we have our next speaker. She came in all the way from Manhattan area, all the big banks over there, making all kinds of money from people. She's got to make money for herself. So anyway, we're singing Keep the Energy here for this energy that we call Arcturian energy. And this very young woman, she come to us because this is her movement, her time. She's very well gifted in language of star and different dimensional languages. She's a sun dancer, and she also did her work through her vision questing and her moment on top of the hill, praying for 4 days, 4 nights, no food, no water, and surrounded by Bigfoot, all the star people. So So she comes to us with a lot of energy from different star realms, different dimensions, different grandmas, and different masters, and all this. So I watched her grow as a spiritual person and as a beautiful friend. And the name that the star people gave her was Wichakpe Unsha Washtewi, which means not a violet, a violet, purple star, or you could say purple, so violet star, beautiful violet star woman. So she has that energy of the purple or the violet rays, that comes with the Arcturian energy of, and also the grandfather of the land, and Swan Yens and hummingbirds and all this. So she has the violet rays and thing and perishable that's always moving. So at this time, with all that, I want to ask that you give this beautiful woman acceptance of your heart and your applause if you want to.
Good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing? I feel like this is a nightclub. So, for my next song, anybody know a song? Thank you for being here. What's interesting is every time I speak, I don't know what I'm going to say until I say it. And it's really about feeling the energy of this group. So, in the last 2 days, we've done these phenomenal presentations and experiences and ceremonies and calling songs and drum songs and all of this. And okay, I'll stay here as much as I can. So there's so much energy running through me right now, I kind of can't contain myself. So if I start jumping around like that monkey, I'll just do it. So my name is Jenny Marks, and hi to all you people in internet world. In my world, I like the internet for communication. So this is all about messages and messaging. So each one of us, as you know, is gifted with some kind of skill set, some kind of understanding. So my name is Wichakpe Toshawashtewi. That was a spiritual name that Chico Light Eagle has intuited and gifted for me through spirit. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, because I think it's important to know some information where people come from, because that's the walk that they carry. So these star people, starways that have worked with me, as you know, many of you know, because you're here, we all gravitate to each other, is that it comes in different ways, and you may or may not know who you are, but many people do know who you are. And many of you, especially if you are attracted to the Star Knowledge Conference, you are multidimensional beings. You are artists and writers and thinkers and scientists, or you are Arcturian and energetic and Hathors and Manuel and all these different energies. And what's so beautiful is we're all taking shape as we're going forward. So this is such a beautiful place to be up here, because I can look at each one of you and see these radiant beings in your journey. So when the indigenous elders, when the elders talk about your walk, I'm just starting to understand this, but it's a walk that I've been doing all my life. I mentioned a little bit the other day that when I was about 3, my aunt gave me a teepee from New Mexico, and I used to go in that teepee, and I just kind of knew what to do. I don't know why, I didn't question it, I just did stuff. And I always thought I was kind of a weird kid, because I didn't even understand myself. I was very different than other people. My friends would say, "You're really different. I don't know what it is about you, but kind of strange." That's all right. It's okay to be strange, and this is also about embracing your freak side. So everybody has their little thing they do, their dance they do, the way they wear their hair, everything. It's celebrated here. So thank you so much, Chief Light Eagle, for bringing these energies in together with the Superstar and Chief Blue Star Eagle and Joan and Ginny and all these amazing people in all different walks of life that have opened this. It's actually an energy portal. So there's a reason why people from all different countries, all different races, all different ages are here, because we're called to be here and do this work, but it's really because we want to. And these star beings come to me in lots of different forms and lots of different times of day, and mostly in the morning. And they give me tools and information. So they're basically unlocking all of the memories that we all share. So for those of you that may not have done this kind of work yet or have this understanding in your journey, the star people tell me that when we come in, we have like a contract. Before we come here, we sit in front of a council and basically, how did you do your last lifetime? There's no judgment. There's no discernment in that way. It's just, what did you want to work on something else a little bit more this time? Oh, I was a really bad hairstylist last time, so I'm going to do something else, Or kind of like stand-up community. So, boom, boom, boom. Did I tell you I'm about the activity? Had 4 outfits, but really. Anyway, so they told me when you come in this world, you have a contract agreement of what you want to work on. So we've actually chosen our parents, we've chosen our life, we've chosen all this energy, we've chosen where we live, we've chosen what we want to do, but we forget about it. So this little game is part of this matrix game, is like down the rabbit hole. Okay, now try to remember. So remember. One of the 13 indigenous grandmothers, Flor de Mayo, told me this time is about remembrance. So think of the word remember. So I work with star knowledge, languages and codes and systems and all that I'll get into in a minute, but everything that you say and do, and one of the principles, one of the symbols in the 1111 symbols is sound, light, and vibration, light, sound, and vibration. And everything is energy, as you mostly know, because you're here, and you know these things. But how it manifests is many different forms. So the word remember is to piece back together. It's not that it was broken. These star people tell me it's nothing is broken. It's always completely whole. Energy, creativity, materialism, multidimensional stuff. But the remembering is the bringing back. So one of these things, these Arcturians and these Sach and these Hathors and these lots of people tell me, my guide people, and the stones and the trees, they're all saying the same message. And it's we need to piece back what we've forgotten. So these gatherings, these ceremonies, all we're doing is we're reigniting our codes. Oh, hey, Rennie, how was your trip? Okay, mine was good. Tell me a little bit more. I'll share a little bit more with you. And Annette and Tyler and all these people, we just keep reactivating each other, but we're really remembering ourselves. So, that phrase, I'm another you guys are not out there and I'm here. You're looking at, I'm you and you're me. So it's pretty cool. So part of this remembering is when we came down into this 3D world, we had this agreement to put the veil over our heads, because if we really, really understood how incredibly powerful we are. You are. Oh, I'm not supposed to point. Chief said, don't point. You have a lot of power in your hand, so I'm going to just go like this. And he goes, he said, when he wants some coffee over there, he goes, without the, that's my Sasquatch side coming through. Sorry. Chief Sasquatch. So, but they say we're when you enter in this realm, you have an agreement to descend basically into this lower vibration. So the earth has descended in this lower vibration, and we are in equal lateral. I mean, they say these funny words to me sometimes, so I speak funny. The equilateral energy, so the law of balance and law of attraction. So part of this is to learn these gifts that we're given in this earth, that many star beings and different dimensions and different realms, they can't experience. So
you may be going through your day and I need a little coffee and I have this problem and this thing I got to do and I got to go to work and sit in this cubicle and make this phone call or, go out and land and go barefoot because I got to talk to my star people and the sun. I forgot about the sun. And, you're going through these things all day or whatever you say to yourself. And it's just really important to remember that this is a gift. They tell me that when we come to this world, we can experience physicality, so an emotion. So you have a fight with somebody. What does that mean? And, how do I feel? It's managing your emotions. How do I feel about something? I want to make art. My mom is my mom was an artist. She's still here right next to me. And art is really about manifestation of creativity. So it's creating something that was not so before, but if you really understand the principles of energy, it never left, it never was, and it always is. So this world is really about manifestation. So basically, you, in a nutshell, each one of you are these incredibly huge beings of light that have been squished in these little bodies, and you got to go around your day to day, but really you're like, and it's really about having these experiences to really master these. So, when they talk about the Egyptian mystery schools, this is a mystery school, but it's not a mystery. It's pretty obvious, but people don't understand this. So one of the programs, as a lot of you know, that are put in place right now in this world they're very negative. I don't believe in dark and light and good and bad because there's no reason for that. It's just a contrast. So the shadow side, the lower energies have a purpose to define something. So, when you look at something in a shadow, you cannot understand light at all unless you understand shadow. And as an artistic technique, my mom showed me, she had me stare at things for hours. And I started seeing things shape-shifting and these energies would change. And she said, see the object that you're looking at, and now look at the negative space around it. The negative space is what defines the object. And I started thinking about that. Well, that's kind of an interesting topic, because how can the shadow define the light if they're two different things? And then I started looking, and I just worked that out in my mind and my heart and sat with that stuff for a little while. And then I realized there's like a line, there's a moment of time, a moment of energy right in between where they touch. It's like when you meet somebody, there's a moment before this transference of exchange. And I was like, oh my God, I'm understanding about quantum mechanics. It's the 0 point energy. So everything, everything is energy. It goes up and down and everything, but you can actually work with it. It's a tool. So language is a tool, words are a tool, codes are a tool, symbols are a tool. All those pictures are tools. If you stare at that butterfly, it's a tool. It's going to activate some memory of your ultimate history, or it'll remind you of your sister had a t-shirt like that, or what do butterflies do? All these animal symbolisms carry that carry that message. So I was very gifted to, or honored, blessed to be living in New York for a while. I lived there for 35 years and in the heart of New York City. And my daughter was going to a school in Times Square, like the famed school. And we were on this track, and I worked in every different industry. And then I realized why, because I had to understand how that worked. Sometimes you have to experience some very dark things to understand how that works. So that was fine. And I've been doing symbol work all my life. So I've been writing and drawing and doing this energy work with this light language and these symbols that I'll show you some examples of in a minute. And all of a sudden I saw a symbol, and then I saw an excerpt from the 1111 Symbols book. And I said, whoever wrote this is a genius. This is like unheard of. This is like the book of all books. And I was like, and then I look in the cover, it says, Standing Elk, Viroqua, Wisconsin. I said, Wisconsin? There are no Native Americans in Wisconsin. I also forgot that buffalo existed. They put a little black in my memory for a little. Then I tasted bison, and then I remembered everything. Oh yeah, oh that. So anyway, so I went to Star Knowledge Conference. You know, the first day of this is the Star Knowledge Conference, and these are the 2 days that Julian's also organized about the Earth Shift Conference. But put them together, and you get Star Earth, Earth Star. This is really what we're doing. We are all star people having an earthly experience. We're earthly people having a star experience. So we're moving in and out of these dimensions all the time. So there's a reason why these two bridges merged and are working this way. And you're all, what's incredible is we've got the elemental people and the star people and the Sasquatch people and the tree people and the little diva fairies. And when you look at each other, I mean, it's incredible. Just walking around, I love these conferences because it attracts all of that. It's a wholeness. It attracts every single aspect of creation and creativity. Old, young, all these different races. I mean, can you just look around at each other for just a moment and connect with whoever's around you? I mean, you guys are unbelievably high vibration. My body's going, so, we're all here doing this together. So you have your specific walk, you have your skill set. We have a photographer here that also, I think, is a time bender and mastery of instances. And we've got somebody else that just holds space for the grand universe of all possibility that is. And then we've got somebody that works with the dragons. And when you start talking to people, you realize this isn't fantasy. All the stuff that you see in movies is more real than the real. So this idea about the matrix and the shift that's happening. Everybody's heard about the shift and Nasara and all this disclosure and all this stuff. None of that matters. It's love coming through this energy at this time. So what these guides tell me, and these especially the Sasquatch tell me, is that Earth is a being. A lot of people don't know she's actually a star, and she's ascended from a planet to a star system. And she's a consciousness, and she's dropped to this level so that we human beings that come and choose to work this way have an opportunity to evolve and work on our evolution. So she's basically said, okay, you know, all my other planets and stars, everything are having fun. They're at the big party, and I'm going to choose to go back and do some more work. And she did it. She told me, because we all talk in different ways. You know, people channel energies and stuff, but all this is available any and all time that you need to tap into it. And this energy, this being, this one that Chief Golden Light Eagle has been talking about, Wakam Pahamaniwi, and Jen Berryhill we did the ceremony with the 7 women. It's a divine feminine energy that's coming back to the world. So men carry this too in different ways, but women at this time also, and women at this time are here to kind of, we're the warriors that are kind of balancing the sacred, you know, quiet, not activists, but the representatives to kind of move this along. So the spirit is really strong. And when it comes around, it kind of whacks me out a little while. But it's really about this balancing of the masculine and the feminine. It's really about the unification of these two worlds. So 3D is a duality timeline, sort of. So there's dark and light, good and bad, men and women, and that kind of thing. But that really doesn't exist. And all of this they show me is that we're attracted to this planet to do this work, to evolve ourselves. So it's really ultimately free will how this works. So one of the principles, I call them principles, the symbol, is free will, which I like because it's Arcturian energy, and Sasquatch and Kuan Yin, and they all work together. So each of those symbols, those books, I keep pointing over here because I feel them over here. Please take a moment to check these out because all of this information is really important. Like my favorite movie is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. Does anybody know that movie? Okay. Have you read the book or seen the movie? Like that is the guide. That's the book that you need to kind of open all these understandings, or it's a starter. And then you remember. So all those codes that they've been talking about, we carry it in our body. We carry all these different levels of understanding. light, sound, vibration, innocence, truth, and family, perception, and symmetry. These are actually codes in our DNA. So I just want to say one or two more things because it's important for you to understand that these are tools. Your body is a tool, and you can master it and actually use it. So you can manifest things that have never been in existence before. You know that. I know the nodding means, yes, we do this every morning before we put on our outfit and go out. We have incredible manifestation powers, but we forgot. So this understanding about the shift, what's really important is what are we shifting? You know, it's important, I'm learning from Chief Golden Light Eagle to just observe most of the things you'll learn just by listening. And I was very non-talkative. People thought I was mute for about 21 years. And then something happened, maybe a walk-in or energy or a braiding or something. And all of a sudden I can't shut up. I can't stop talking because it's just like, Laura, it's like, oh my God, there's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. And then I walk around and then all of a sudden I started doing these light drawings and energy drawings and symbols, and I didn't understand them, and then they came and they came and they came. I saw the Flower of Life, go to New York. I got totally activated. I never read, and I started reading all these books and energy. And then I saw Mary Lightweaver speaking at a Star Knowledge conference just like this, and I said, I want to do that thing that you do, and she goes, you do, it'll come. And all of a sudden I was able to say, I said, I want to say something to you, and I just started talking. And she activated me in that way, and I'm going to activate you. It's not about activation, it's remembering. So one of the things that people tell me is that one of the words that people explain that I am, or that this being is that comes, these beings are a bridge to remembering. But I'm also a creative inspirationalist, and I'm being shown, basically I'm visited at 333-444-555 different time codes every morning and get like half an hour's worth of messages, and they're phenomenal. They're about the earth, the ley lines and the energy and the earth and how that's shifting. So basically what's happening is the earth is evolving really quickly, as we know. There is a matrix of energy that's around the earth that's been generated by the earth, but it's also intense kind of metallic, if you will, kind of energy that's constricting us. So everything that we've learned in our 3D society, you know, education, information, you know, school, work, house, the perfect American dream, that kind of thing, has all been architected to the infinite degree of infinity. I mean, whoever is behind this is also really, really brilliant. So maybe it's the same thing. Maybe it's the same energy. But when you think about, you know, where your parents learned something, they learned it from their parents, they learned it from watching somebody else. So they have some experience, but most people learn in this day and age from your mind. We're a very mental society, you know, and this is why it's so important to connect with the earth and indigenous cultures, because it's something we always do, but we've forgotten. So that's why we're here doing these drum songs and doing all this energy and stuff. They just keep saying, remember, remember, because what happens is when you don't have your own experience, you don't really know something. You know, there are Mayan scholars who have studied other Mayan scholars' writings, who have studied other Mayan scholars' writings, but nobody's actually been out on the hill with a crystal skull, been in the pyramids, you know, toned and just talked to the spirits and stuff. There's not, you know, that lineage. The most important thing is that you have your own experience and then you have an understanding about it. So go out on the land, stand barefoot is really important right now. Really, really important. You know, tree hugging, now I really get it. Like there is so much information coming from the earth up to through your body and also around you and from the sun. You know, if you want to talk to me more about it later, I just want to say I have a table over there. You see my beautiful, lovely Annette is waving. And if you want to talk to me, you can sign up for I do these light language sessions where I'll talk this star language, and then also I do these energy frequency drawings, which I'll show you. But if you want to know more, I'm going to shift and just start some of these messages. But I think it's important that you understand. So they're showing me that It's just really, really important time to be here. And we've all done this work before, and it's not really that hard. Really important to disconnect from 3D day stuff. That doesn't mean you can't go about your day. If you have a day job and there's a purpose for that, you're bringing your light into that. You know, I never understood why I have a corporate job, but it's important to carry that light. But all of this is going to change so fast that people can't even imagine. Like I get this timeline of like 2 months, something's going to happen around the changes of the election time. All that stuff doesn't matter anyway. All that's architected. He, she, who cares? Who cares? Because they're not elected anyway. They're decided upon, and they're people that are put up there for somebody else's agenda. It's your agenda now. It is your time now. Who am I? Why am I here? What am I doing? And how can I help? Okay, if you don't ask, what can I do to be of service? It doesn't matter. You can have all the learning, all the education that you want. It's just, it's taking what they were talking about before. You're taking. You have to be of service. Then if you ask the star energies or the people that you're working with, how can I help? What can I do? This is, you get this energy flowing very differently. You know, how can I help? What can I do? You're going to be taken care of. You're going to get the information you need. What job do I take? I don't know what decision to make. When you start tuning in with the spirit energy, the spirit will guide you exactly as you need to be. We've met each other. Oh my God, I know you. Oh, I need some connections here. We start a conversation. Yeah. Oh, you know people. I mean, it just happens. So what we're doing is resyncing ourselves up to spirit. And I wanted to mention one other thing about this technology stuff is that this bells are going off. It has a purpose, but it's not human energy. So the internet is really good. I work on the internet and I use it as tools to communicate. And but it's going to go away really soon. And that's okay. So part of this is learning the model for telepathy. Okay, all these star beings that I work with tell us we have these skills, it's been dormant. Like you have inside your pineal gland, you have all the wisdom that you need. You can tap into the Akashic energies, you can move anywhere you want, you can float, you can fly, you can do everything. But we've forgotten, it's gotten pummeled by lots of stuff. So, but you have these abilities to do these things. So it's really our responsibility. You know, when they talk about taking up your sacred responsibilities, it's about agreeing to say yes and then doing it, whatever that is. And then you'll just know, I have no idea how this journey is happening, but I'm just doing it. So it's also really fun to play with all this stuff. So, you know, don't take yourself so seriously. That's the most important message, because you know when you pass, it's going to be like, oh well, what did you think about that? No, it's kind of boring. Well, who made it boring? You know, what's this going to say? You know, it's your choice. So if you have a choice of like sitting in your room or like going out and meeting people and having fun and having a party, let's do that. That's more fun. So what's my time? Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay, so that was longer than I was expecting. This is really what it's about, is this language. ceremony. So ceremonies are gatherings. Ceremony, we're in ceremony. Every single moment that you breathe is a ceremony. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you look, and the way you feel. Most important thing are your thoughts are a ceremony. It's your choice to manifest how you choose to be in this world at this time, at this moment. You are here now. In the now, that's all that exists. To me, the wakait washankat ne usa mo to so all these voices that come through me are many different spirit guides, and what I'm told is that these languages that I speak carry light, sound, and vibration that activates something inside of you that you remember. That was cool. I'm bending sound. So I feel a lot of beings around me. They say that these star people really want you to understand them now. A lot of people have had experiences where you've seen and felt or heard or been touched by spirits or energy. But the star nations are depicted incorrectly in a lot of the medias, you know, are actually really incredibly loving beings. They come in many forms. They come in earth and ether forms. They come in air and water and plasma. And there are beings that look like us, humanoid, that have this kind of genetic makeup, the same genome. And there are those that look like probably every animal and creature that walks this earth. There are planetary systems like that. There are cat planets and whale planets and that kind of thing. And all of these beings are going to make themselves known to you very, very soon, if they haven't already. So Chief Go-Lightigal said to me, you're Arcturian. He didn't say you work with Arcturians or channel Arcturian. He said you're Arcturian. So I'm still trying to understand that. But there are many star people in this room and elemental people, and you know who you are. You already know this. You gravitate with this stuff. So. So they talked to me about nature, and they said the reason it's so important to be in nature, to touch nature, work with nature, eat natural food, and work this way naturally, come from a position of love. When you meet someone, don't have a mental agenda about that. How you operate from your heart is also natural. So we carry these seed codes, these natural, almost God, like creator particles in us. And what we think of as our DNA, they show me, is everything that you are. So you're just balls of light that are taking these forms and taking these forms and taking these forms. Carry all this stuff all the time. We just get manifested in different ways. So Musa o kalwa katwa shantitwa ni se ola o kababa la kitwa shankitwa sa usumala wa kaitwa shankitwa sa. So they say the most important thing is to start awakening to this really quickly, because you're going to need to use a lot of these tools. Dragons, why do dragons come to people? It's an aspect of you. It's a part of you. It's an understanding of you, their totems, their tools, that kind of thing. Colors, the whole color spectrum of the rainbow. The chakra systems, you know, there's 7 and there's 13 and there's 144,000. You know, they're bands of color beyond bands of information, of light, sound, and vibration, and all, everything. And sound, there are sounds that are just out of our human ear range that we're going to start to hear. They say the whales and the Sasquatch also work with these sound tones. They can communicate very, very long distances because they work with these ley lines of sound. So these messages that you can see on my website. I have cards over there, and talk to me. But I really want to talk to each one of you. I want to connect with you, however that is. Just come over and say hi and touch me and talk with me, because I'm attracted to your energy, you know, and I'm attracted to your gifts and your talents. And the most important thing in the world, in all of these galactic understandings of understanding, is really what love is. We do not understand love in this plane because it's been architected to us that it's an attachment. Oh, if somebody likes you, then they'll do something for you, or that kind of understanding. This understanding of love is actually the exchange of energies. So all these petroglyphs and things we've done these things. We're coming back to remember. You get attracted to Palm Springs or Sedona or wherever. We've been there, and we've buried codes of information that we're coming back to find. Off planet, on planet, all this is happening all the time. So you might as well have fun with this. Instead of walking around in a funk, you could go anywhere right now. They're showing me that, you know, there are times when we needed to go out on the hill. That time is done. The time of gurus and masters and teachers, everyone is your teacher. This crystal skull is my teacher. This computer is my teacher. This child, this tree. You know, when I was mentioning yesterday about the masters being at the Star Knowledge Conference, it is everything. You know, the first conference that I went to, this is what I really wanted to share, was it wasn't the people were all there because I didn't see them as people. I went outside and this palm tree telepaths with me. These palm trees are beings. These stone people are beings. I work with the stone people a lot, and they're screaming at me when I was driving through Sedona. I'm like, oh, there's a chief and there's a friend, and they're, you know, and they have all these messages about crystals and mineral and all that stuff. And they say, these palm trees, just like the ones out here, said, we chose to be birthed exactly at the time so that we could be here right now at this conference. Think about that. Those are manifestations of our energy. So when we look out, you go outside and see these amazing pools, you know, these warm pools, and you can enjoy this energy. Those things that are outside they chose to be here with us at this time. They're part of that ceremony. You know, right now on so many levels, there are galactic, there are like 500,000 ships overhead, just hovering, all these scout ships and these big motherships, those of you who can see it or feel it. And this is the big show of shows. We really do not understand this window of time that we're in. I mean, you are incredible. I just want to cry. You're incredibly blessed to be here. Some guy was like, I don't know, I came from Australia and I just like arrived here. I don't know why. You know, that's how it happens. I found these books. I don't know why. It doesn't matter why. There's a way to move from your head into your heart. This is one or two of the things they want me to share with you. So you've heard of people seeing through their hands. It's possible, like these psychic children, you just move your spirit that way. You know, Carlos Castaneda talk about it as your nodal point. You know how to do this pretty well, your nodal point. So you can move it around your body. So your body is just this it's a temple, but you can use it in a lot of different ways. When you do energy work, all you people that work with chakras and healing, if you work with animals, you feel the energies between an animal and a person. There's a transference, but all of it is all of this is happening for us to really learn how to feel again. So through your emotion and through your heart. This is the most important thing. Always stay in your heart. And if you're stuck there, stop and remind yourself how to get back there. I learned a lot from Chief Golden Light Eagle about being in your heart. He says instant forgiveness. When something happens to you, if you have a fight with someone, there is a reason for that. It's not always a karmic transfer or a debt or all these 3D New Age things that we think about how to try to understand. Well, maybe in 5 years, if I'm really good, I go to therapy and I pray backwards, sitting upside down, maybe we'll get it. You know, one of my favorite videos on YouTube is hit. That spiritual girls say. Have you ever seen this? That spiritual girls say. Like, oh my goddess, you know, like, I'm having a download. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you right now. It's very funny. And then there's a guy version. It's even funnier. But it's like, you know, all this stuff is good, but it's done. You don't need teachers outside. All these people that have booths and tables have their own story and their own understanding. When you play your music, you're playing from your heart. Your soul codes are coming out. We can choose to listen or not, or walk away or not, or engage or create value and sustenance and work with that energy. It's all energy. Somebody else does oils. Somebody else does Tibetan bowls. You know, Dr. Dream's resonating this energy with all, they're right there. He's doing it now. You know, you can do it with your body. So he's learned how to do this in his body. And he said, oh, this is really important. Let's do this, you know, and show you how to do this. It's just a tool. Like the gongs were incredible. If you have a moment to be with those gongs, they vibrate your body in really interesting ways. You can go in and out of portals and all this stuff can happen. But every one of these, the gems and the gels and the, you know, the clothing and everything, it's all about costume and energy. And, you know, beautiful Euquala is a perfect walking, living, breathing example of festivity and understanding and awareness and consciousness and being. You know, when you feel the presence, and what I've learned from him is when you show up in your day. When you come out of bed in the morning, how do you want your day to go? You describe it, you write it, and it is so. That's how much power we have. So the star beings talk about creative manifestation and creativity. It's if you think of the prime creator or prime source, even if I'm an atheist because I don't believe in any religion, but I'm very influenced. Whatever choice works for you, they're all tools. You know, if you've gone through the Catholic Church, you've learned systems of understanding. Some of them can help you. This is the time in our world that's never happened before, where you can choose what you want to do and everything else, you can let it go. You know, we come in with missions and skill sets and things that we're good at and difficulties we've had, usually with our parents and family and partnerships and everything and work and money and all this stuff. All of that is to show us that we don't need it. It's really to weed everything out except our heart. So Mayra Mwakwa Shantidwa Shangine Usa Mwakwa Shantidwasa Ula Kaitwa Shangine Si Mwakwa Kaitwa Shanki Tiswala Usuma Aisa Kawatai Nexwala Watata. So the reason I love all these images is because you start to notice patterns and systems and colors and form, what's different, what's similar. You know, your mind can get really lost in these ways, and their ways and their understandings. When I speak this language, I feel this energy come through me to you, and it's like a thread. You feel it. I don't understand it, but I don't need to. Do you understand how the internet works, basically? But do you understand everything in and out about your computer? No, but you use it. Your body, you do need to understand, because this is the one thing that you carry with you. It's your responsibility for now. But there is so much going on in here that you really need to understand how powerful you are. And they say that all these energies are going to open. Everything very, very soon. People are starting to see shadows in their peripheral vision. beings are coming. I've seen fairies. Is anybody seeing fairies now? Yes. Okay. So they're orbs and all this stuff. I mean, it's going to happen really, really big. So they're telling me. So underneath here, this is part of the San Andreas fault line underneath us and through the Joshua tree, right? It's very important to understand where you are, what you're doing, and why you're there. So all you guys, just by your physicality being here, are bringing from your native lands, East Coast, West Coast, Canada, Florida, whatever, you're carrying this code of information. It's actually being downloaded into the earth right now and healing the earth. You can choose more or less that you want to focus that energy, and that's really your choice. And just like with Standing Rock, I really meditated. We did lots of sweat lodges to understand what's happening there. You know, you've got the pipe and the oil and all this energy and anger and frustration and excitement and all this stuff. It's really, think about it, it's two things. It's the water, which is the common denominator for everyone. We are water, we're water babies. And it's the one thing we share together. It's the glue. It's not taxes, it's water. You know, and look at all the tribes that are getting together and coming up with a solution because they have a common ground. It's really about finding that common ground. But water is love, and love is water. Your cells are light. This is your physical body basically blinks on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off. This appearing, disappearing, appearing. This feels hard. It's not hard. It's just taking a resonant vibration. So I'm sharing all of this to tell you to be who you are. This is one of the teachings that I'm really understanding and learning. Be who you are. Understand how powerful you are, and you're valuable. When you get frustrated, let it go. Let it go. Don't get angry. Don't judge other people. And don't judge yourself. When you meet one person at a time, find one thing that you honor in that person, even the person you're really mad at or dislike or you don't feel a vibration with, because that's human. We're human, and it's okay. Find that love seed inside of them. I like their hair today, or cool shoes, or, you know, oh, they smile nice, or they do this interesting walk. Just key into one thing, and that's going to take away the judgment. You know? We're human. I walk around a lot of times going, well, I could have done that better, or I wanted to do this, or, you know, maybe if only. And then you think, well, it is how it is. It's just how it is, and now I can change it. That's the power. Is your past is done. I mean, we hear these teachings all the time from these, you know, New Age teachers and our friends, and therapy and cards on Facebook, and, you know, I mean, you can do this till you're blue in the face, but it really has to be real. And none of this stuff matters, but the love in your heart and the forgiveness that you can give. And every moment is precious. You know, I heard this indigenous phrase, you know, today is a good day to die. Today is a good day to live. Be live. Believe. This emotion I'm feeling is so much love of the power of spirit. Believe in yourself. You are good enough. Women, you're good enough. You're pretty enough. Don't look for justification outside. Don't worry about your body. Don't worry about this stuff. Do it if you want to. If you don't, who cares? Walk in a way that protects you. Walk in a way in your dignity, because you are beautiful. Mothers are not, children are adults, grandmothers, ancient ones. You're carrying this. You need to understand it and embrace it. Do not judge yourself anymore. How's my hair? They don't like me. They just, you know, none of that stuff matters. The more unique you are, the more you have to say. So be yourself. and be love, and be light, and be emotion. Remember who you are. Chu kalama kwai tadwa shinki today. Isi mua kawala kain dwa shinki no sama kuat wa shanti dwa sang. Ni se ma lua kain no shanki te. Simi kwa wala kai twa shanti dwa sangi wa. Usi kilwa mua wa shwa. Ni wala kain no shanki ni no shanki dwa sang dwa sang kwa kala. Sime u se dwa sang dwa sang. Mo kata dwa sang ni dwa sang u sa wala kain dwa shanki dwa sangi dwa sang wala kai dwa sang. So the reason I'm showing you this is not because this is the Jenny show. Enough about me. Let's talk about what you think about me. Ego's a funny thing. It's actually very important to have a healthy belief in yourself, the balance. But you know, these are light languages that I write, that I've written all my life. I just want to show you how this manifests for me. This is a Sasquatch language. So these Sasquatch actually come to me in physical form. I see them in the sweat lodges. I see them walking around. They come and they visit and they have messages. They are very important people. They're ancient ones that have been here before us. They share our DNA codes, but they have something a little bit different. And like Chief Golden Light Eagle said, they're related to the moon and Meldeck and all this stuff, but they're here to heal the earth. This is one Sasquatch that visits with me all the time, and this new one. They have names and they have personalities, and when I go on my walks in Wisconsin, that feels very much like an energetic balance of Sedona, weirdly. They show me that they have these tools that they're healing the earth now. So they bring in these, they shapeshift. That's why we don't see them sometimes. So they can have a cloak of invisibility, and they can be orbs, and they can be big furry beings, and 40 feet tall, 20 feet tall, 2 feet tall, and they come in the sweat lodges. They're really cute. They're furry. And they give me lots of information about, they share with me, I should say. Here, this is me and my teepee. So it's like a travelogue slideshow. That's a teepee I used to get all this stuff from. And these are the guides. I just did a quick picture of me and the Sasquatch and the Divine Feminine and all these little grandmother Sasquatchatani and stuff. And most people know who that is. And the Hathors and anyway, I just chose some images to see how these resonate with me and Sekhmet, but you all have your own guides. So it's real important what I'm learning is to ask your guides, who are they? How are you showing up? Who are you? How can I work with you? Are you elemental? What's your name? You know, and really work with them. Because, you know, as they teach you, we have 7 guides, front, back, side, up and down, and you're your own guide. So you're part of this. So the stone people are my best guides. They show me everything about everything because they're really connected. So the Sasquatch say the trees have been embedded with information. So you know, as a tree grows, it actually absorbs everything in that area, you know, permaculture stuff. But the Sasquatch also tell me they embed and withdraw information like a digital memory system, like a bank. It's very, very interesting. And then all these grandmothers and the whales and stuff. Oh, that's the one I really like. 2 more things. This is, so I've been an artist all my life, and my mom started an art department with her twin, and they telepathed all the time. So I learned how to telepath, and we talked through art. And these are just some little sketches, but there's a theme in all these things about orbs and space and time and stuff. So this is just a little sketch of how these manifest for me. And these were paintings I'm doing at like 16 and 17 of energy forms. And this was a huge, this is my favorite. Can somebody do that math? 7 plus 4 is 11. And there's dots in the middle, and 7 plus 4 it's 11:11. I was drawing 11:11 when I was a kid, over and over again. And then there's like star meetings and greetings with people here. And then the one last thing I'm going to show. This is one of the things that I offer. These star banks have showed me how to make these energy. They call them energy frequency signatures. So I do sessions with people. This is one thing I do, and I feel how creativity moves through their body. And then I do this drawing, and they have showed me how to write all these different star languages from my guides and your guides. I put my hand over it, I get information, and then it comes through that way. So, oh, thank you. Okay. Well, nobody gave me the cue. Yes. Thank you. I knew he was going to say that. He's so sweet. So, anyway, if you're interested in, just please come over and say hi. I'm doing a by donation, I'll do a mini session if you'd like, just to speak some light language and do a little drawing. And I also offer both of those separately by the hour. You can do it now or online, but come and connect with me. I'd really like to just introduce myself to you and meet you. And thank you very much. I love you all. Peace.
Thank you, Star Sister Jen. And now we're going to do a little sound healing activation with one of our younger star brothers. Massimo is going to come on stage. So if everyone wants to sort of ground out, take some deep breaths and get ready for some magical sound healing, Massimo is going to guide us through that. And with that, Star Brother Massimo. Is he ready? Okay.
Thank you for all you being here. I want to express what an honor it is to be amongst elders, Star Tribe, these beautiful healers of all walks, nations, colors, races, we stand here united. Just briefly introducing myself. Massimo Izzo from the Plains Forest. We knew each other throughout the years and invited me out here to share with you. We share a passion of frequencies and resonance and how they change the structures around us and increase the vibration and allow them to transform into their highest nature. My wonderful roommate Erica is going to be a fairy and share some oils throughout this experience. This is a surprise to all of us because this kind of all came about so sudden. So we're going to share about 25 minutes and we're just going to go through some basic pranayama, some breathing, some toning together to bring our frequency all together. And then we'll finish with a 10-minute sound bath where we'll share oils and sounds and intentions and prayer. So to bring the energy together, whoever wants to participate, I invite you to sit tall in your chair, your feet firmly on the ground if that's comfortable. Putting your hands in your lap facing up, resting the tongue at the roof of your mouth. Inhaling through your nose, closing your eyes and looking up at your third eye, your Pingala gland. And just focusing at this energy center, the middle of your forehead. Just breathing into that space, breathing into the gratitude, the love, the light that you've experienced this weekend. The activation of our intuition, of the unseen, and the guidance that we're receiving. So I'm going to guide us through 3 ohms to bring all of our energy united so we're on the same page. So we're going to take a deep inhale through the nose. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Deeply exhale, releasing all that no longer serves you in this moment. And on the inhale, visualizing a bright light permeating every cell of your being, activating, energizing, recharging. We're going to go through pranayama. It's an ancient practice of breath to stimulate the life force into our body and increase the heat, the fire to burn out the impurities and also balance the hemispheres of the brain, the Ida and Pingala, and breathing through the line that goes up the center of the spine, the Sushumna channel. So breathing into these energy centers, we're going to start with breathing and then we'll tone through every chakra to bring ourselves fully in balance. So the first breath exercise I'd like to do is we're only going to focus on the exhale, keeping the tongue at the roof of the mouth, exhaling out the mouth and allow the inhale to happen naturally through the nose. So I'll give you an example. It's called Kalabati breathing. And I visualize that you're only giving in service, you're giving your breath and trusting that you're going to receive in return. It sounds a bit like this. Start with your mouth for 30 seconds, and then we'll move into our nose. So just
exhaling and allow the chest to fill back up, and then we'll move into the nose, which will sound like this. And you're pumping your abdomen, your dantian, and you're feeling that strengthening as you're exhaling and just pushing your stomach out, pushing the breath out, and then allowing the inhalation to happen naturally. So we'll start the breath momentarily with the mouth, and then we'll go into the nose. Now to the nose. Just do this for 60 seconds at your own pace. Feel the body heating up. Feel your root firmly rooted into the ground, into the earth, and continue to breathe into this space for 30 more seconds. Deeply exhale. Deeply inhale. Deeply exhale. Let it all go. Now we're going to focus on breath of fire. This is stimulating the heat and oxygenating the blood and cleaning the blood, purifying, allowing it to move, any stagnation. So same, we're going to rapidly inhale and exhale. So instead of just exhaling, we're doing both. But again, we'll focus out the mouth for 10 seconds, and then we'll go through the nose. And you could either keep your hands rested on your lap or raise them above your head if that's comfortable to you. So we'll start at the mouth and sound like this. And then moving into the nose. Doing that for 60 seconds, rapidly breathing at your own pace. Twenty more seconds. Release. Take a few deep inhales. Allow your breath to return to normal. We'll keep this brief just to give you an idea. And the idea of my practice is to give self-empowerment tools, whether it be in the forms of guiding one to their own breath, through different mudras and mantras, different techniques of meditation, through sound and vibrations. And I'm simply offering these tools selflessly for you to be empowered to use the tools for yourself and not be reliant on anybody else for your own healing, and realize you're the catalyst, and all these are just mediums for you to realize your own self-awareness. So we're going to go into Nadi Shodhana. Take your right hand and then your right thumb, bring it to the right nostril and bring in the middle finger to the forehead. We're going to inhale through the left, then cover our left nostril with the pinky and exhale out the right. Inhale through the right, exhale out the left. It's a very basic technique. Try inhalation for 3 seconds, hold for 3 seconds. Other nostril release for 3 seconds. Do it at your own pace for the next 60 seconds. This is balancing the solar lunar energies, the masculine and feminine polarities, the creative and the logical hemispheres of the brain, so we can act as a whole being, a holy being, taking both heart space and mind simultaneously. In ancient practices, the Vedic culture, they call this space the Hridaya, because we constantly say, use your mind, think with your mind. What does your heart tell you? Follow your heart. And we segregate one from the other as if they're separate. But we understand that they're communicating in unison and acting in unison. You're standing in your integrity and strength, but coming from a heart space of gentle compassion for those around you. And then you're truly in alignment and at peace with all that is. So doing this breath for another 10 seconds at your own pace. Releasing your hands, take a deep inhale through the nose. When breathing through the nose, the tongue is the roof of the mouth. When we close the tongue to the roof of the mouth, we create this bridge, and it's the top of our spine, and it connects to our pineal gland. It completes the circuitry. And so when you're breathing in your nose, you're actually creating a saliva that develops under your tongue that has a electromagnetic charge. So when you're breathing into this space, you're charging that saliva, you're charging those intentions, those prayers. So we're going to go through, they're called bija mantras. They are tones that correlate with the 7 chakras. And by harmonizing these tones, you're bringing these chakras back into alignment with the proper harmonics. So we're going to start at the bottom. You can take both of your hands on your lower abdomen. And we're going to visualize our root. Visualize a cord of roots coming out of the base of your spine, shooting into layers of the earth, the crust, the different soils, the minerals, break it through rock beds, going into underwater caverns, crystal caves, through the Angartha network, the underground civilizations, connecting straight to the molten core of this planet. Operating from this place, we're going to connect to this tone of the root chakra, visualizing the fiery red burning through that cord. The bija mantra for the root chakra is Lam. So just like the Oms, we're going to take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. It's Lam, Lam. Fully exhale. Allow your breath to return to normal. Raising our hands to on our belly button or sacral chakra. Visualizing a campfire that so in this fire, it's the teachings of our deepest desires, our passions, and our creative energy, sharing with those around us in this creative expression, joyful and innocent. Releasing any fear, guilt, or pain, any rejection that no longer serves you in this center, knowing that you're operating from your best, authentic self. So we're gonna inhale into this space. The bija mantra for the chakra is VAM, V-A-M. And take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Taking your hands to your upper abdomen. We're gonna focus on the solar plexus, visualizing a radiating yellow glowing sun, your own sun of your own universe. This is the center where we connect to one another, where we network, we set intentions, and we co-create. We have to be in absolute trust with one another. So visualizing the center, the Bija mantra is Ram, R-A-M. You take a deep inhale, deep exhale, deep inhale, taking both hands to the center of the chest. I like to make angel wings around my heart. I'm breathing into the Anahata chakra, the heart chakra. I feel when we empower this space, there's 3 chakras above, 3 below, and working from the center, it brings everything into unison and realizing everything that comes out of your hands, everything you do is an expression of this heart space. It's allowing you to be fully authentic in what is being expressed, and we just observe these things that we create and allow these energies to pass through us. And it's at awe when you're able to see where it's coming from, this heart center, and it's so beyond you, but it feels so graceful and so natural. So breathing into this space, visualizing not only a deep emerald green, but also a violet pink, and the pink of the higher heart, this unconditional love that we're growing into, this understanding we're being born with, these crystal children, these rainbow children, these star seeds. They're coming in with these codes to share with all of us that it's okay to take away these barriers of the heart. It's okay to drop our shields and our armor and be open to receive and share from this space. So the Bija mantra for this chakra is Yam, Y-A-M. And then take a deep inhale, deep exhale, deep inhale. We're going to focus on the throat chakra, holding the front of your neck, visualizing this deep, dark blue of the deepest ocean, understanding that in the water of this blue, we're expressing our emotions, we're expressing our intentions, stating our prayers, stating our power. We need to own this vibration that's being emitted. It carries ancient dialects and codes and tones. And when you're waking to these vibrations and express that, you realize that you're not subjected to the reality around you, but you're creating it with your essence, your vibration, your voice. So standing firm in your confidence when one expresses itself, whether it be work, relationships, family, friends, and just set healthy boundaries and communicate intentions clearly. That way there's no confusion. So breathing into this space, we're going to say the Bija mantra for the throat chakra. Ham, H-A-M. Take a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deep inhale. Moving to the center of the forehead, the third eye, the Anya chakra, the seat of the soul. I feel this is an antenna for spirit communication, a window into the unseen where we receive messages to guide us in this earth walk. By being open to this, we're being open to our faith in the Creator and these visions and intentions and dreams that come to us, and have the courage to act them out into this waking reality without questioning the validity, understanding it's coming from a place of truth. We're going to breathe into this space. Familiar with this mantra, the mantra for your Anya chakra is Om, O-M. Take a deep inhale. Now we're going to focus on the crown. I visualize as a vortex on top of the head. We receive all this divine information that come to us from both solar and lunar energies and intergalactic communications of star family. We're opening up this portal to fully receive our matrices, our geometries, our missions, our affirmations to keep us on our journey. Visualizing a deep white light all around you with purple beam beaming to the crown of your skull, going down your entire spine, bringing you to the high angelic frequency, pure love light and ascension. Breathing into this space, I'm going to say the Bija mantra for the crown chakra, which is Aum, A-U-M. Take an inhale. And exhale. Inhale. You empowered each of the energy vortices going to the spine. What's left is the broadcast energy, the core of the earth, to the star beings, the sky. So, put your hand over your head and just Om 3 more times, sending this energy from the core of the earth through our spines and broadcasting it out to any being listening. Have absolute best intention, humanity, bring technologies to purify our lands, to bring free energy technologies, to bring back ancient awareness of our ancient origins and all that we come from, of all the galaxy. Just take a deep inhale. 3 ohms at your own pace. So my blessed sister Erica is going to come around and offer some purity oil. So now that we're operating on this frequency of total balance, of this purity, it's organic oils that are myrrh, palo santo, and white sage, and they're going to offer not only purification but blessings unto your being and allow you to reside into a space of cleanliness and purity during the sound transmission that's about to take place. This is a song for all the sacred waters.
Nibi waibo naya akwe misque nibi waibo ayina 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 nibi waibo naya akwe misque nibi waibo ayina 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 Nimi waiho andaya akwe
swe ni ni wai mo ayana 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 ni ni wai mo
Just breathing into this space, allowing the sound frequencies, the oils, the prayers to permeate your being, structuring the cells to these frequencies. Thank you for joining me in this experience. Nowhere to go, nowhere to be, no becoming and being, no aloneness and all oneness. You are the light that you seek. Continuing on this journey of the human experience, awakening to this mission you knew you carried, and awakening other brothers and sisters on a similar path to light, love, and ascension, and awakening the crystal kingdom here on planet Earth. Ahom Takiasa.